Alright guys, another cool old guitar to work on today. Great Southern music, Houston, Texas, right? That's where this thing came out of. Alright, so it looks like a Fender Strat. Let's put it up on the bench and let's get a good look at this thing. Fender Stratocaster. Alright, let's take a look at this thing. Fender, made in Japan. Serial number starts with an E, an E5, 1985 Japan. And this is an HR. So it's not the HM Strat, it's an HR Strat. The knobs here, though, look just like the HM, where you got the Fender, the F Fender on there, but on the tone one, it's missing. The top piece is gone. That's too bad. But this is a 80s guitar, and let's see if she makes noise. Very cool color. It's got a spot in the tone control where it's got a notch where it fits right in the center position. It's got some scratchiness going on in the three-way switch. So right off the bat, I'm just going to go for it and try to spray this out some. Okay. Alright, so let's see. I'm spraying a little electronic cleaner in there. Got rid of some of that. And it did, and everything's working good. So you got your 5-way switch. Alright, so let me tap on this a little bit. Alright, so I think what the switch is doing, in the up position, you're in the single coil. And all the way down, you're in a full humbucker. That's my best guess. Adds just a little bit more tone to it. Let's see something. If we get 60 cycle hum. I'm going to turn this up real loud. Okay, so let's see if... Yeah, do you hear how much it hums now when you're in single coil mode? So I think that's exactly what this switch is doing. It's coil splitting this. Alright. So, okay, out she comes. There we go. Turn this back off. Turn it off. So the electronics are working nicely. Right, there's a couple really crazy things about this. So this bridge right here. Now, this is a made in Japan guitar, but to me this bridge looks like the early 80s Dan Smith era free flight bridge. So it's kind of a top loader. There's no access cover on this thing. You do have the micro adjustment right there though. But she's a top loader. It came this way. I bought this guitar and I'm going to resell it after I get it all strung up and everything. But I think this is that Dan Smith era, early 80s free flight bridge. And I'm missing the arm. So unfortunately, let me see, I just have this thing laying around. So this takes an arm that is basically shaped sort of like this. Oh, darn it, my phone's ringing. Yeah, so to me this looks like the early 80s free flight bridge, and I don't have the arm for it, and the arms are really hard to find. It takes a regular sort of whammy bar that fits down in there like that, but then it has a little piece that comes through it, you know, sort of like this. It's got a little tiny little sort of thing like that, and they are very hard to find. Unfortunately, I don't have the arm. And then when we get up here to the nut, this is the strangest nut that I've ever seen. So it's a locking nut, but the engineers in Japan, when you loosen this way, then that's when it unlocks. See how it sort of unlocks the strings? So instead of clamping down traditionally with your 3 little hold down pieces that have the small bolt going through there that you tighten down to clamp down, this one does it sort of sideways. It clamps this way. And so a very strange thing. Yeah, okay, so let me show you this. So this is more of a traditional type of locking nut that goes on a guitar. And this is what we have on there. Now to make this, and you know, here's my thoughts on this. I could probably put one of these things on there, but because I don't have the arm for this, it's not like anybody's going to be whammying crazy on this thing anyhow. So I'm going to just leave this original piece on there. Some guys might just get a real kick out of this. Some guys might think this is just the coolest thing going. So I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to do my typical thing where I'm going to clean these frets. And I'm going to shine this up a little bit. And that's about all I have to do to it today. So, yeah, let's get started. This video is brought to you by Swiss Picks. It's not just a pick, it's a science. Available at ZIMM'S Guitars or at www.swisspicks.com. Okay, so after all that, hopefully you guys know what I'm going to just do with this thing. Go ahead and pull these strings off. Okay, so I think what happens here is that the string, you know, it goes underneath that little thing, but then it just slips right out of there. Okay? So it's pretty quick and easy. You got 2 string trees on this end, but it does have to go underneath that little tiny bar right there, and then just move it around that little tiny tab. There we go. Then it just hooks right in. Now, you know, guys could argue, hey, you should actually put a bridge in there that is going to, you know, you'll be able to use a tremolo. But when you have an old 80s guitar, do you want to just leave it vintage? Leave it in the comments what you guys would do. Would you change this thing out? It's top mounted in here. How in the heck does this thing actually mount in there? Kind of interested to see how this works. And I'm kind of interested to see what's underneath here. So I'm going to go ahead and take the pickguard off. Let's get a good examination of this guitar. All right, off we go here. This is honestly, it's been a long time since this has come off. There we go. Okay, now we're getting into some interesting stuff here. So, there's our electronics. And it's got the conductive tape underneath everything. Looks like Alnico pickups right there where because I don't see a magnet on the back. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. And again, this tone knob has a little stop button right in the center position. So let me just hit this while we're in here. That's the volume. I'll just hit this switch while I'm here. Okay. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Now, and here's our cavity right here. You can see it's got room for a humbucker if you ever wanted to do that. And then you can see this whole bridge piece, you know, it's hooked in here and here. It's got two springs that are stretched all the way down to here, with one bar coming all the way through the center and hooked into here. So this is a very unique bridge, and again, I believe they were called a free flight bridge. You guys let me know in the comments what you find out about this, because I'm interested in knowing. Got a little simple green on a rag. Let's try to clean some of this underneath here. Okay, there we go, good enough. Okay, let's go ahead and put this back in place. Fell right down in place really nicely. And we're going to put the original screws right back in. I think for something like this, keeping it original is important. The new owner of this guitar, if and when it sells, they can search the interwebs and try to find the arm for it. Alright, so finally got me a bottle of some Simple Green, and I'm just going to clean the fretboard. Alright, let's do this. I will take my notch straight edge. We'll put it on there and we'll see if this guitar neck is nice and flat. And I can see a little bit of relief in the neck, so that is a good thing. But let's go ahead and let's test this truss rod. Oh yeah. It feels perfect right here. Just going to tighten it up just a smidge. About right there. And then we'll test it again. Alright, let's shine up some frets. 1000 grit sandpaper and my little fret guard. It's more of a fretboard guard, I would say. So usually on older guitars, right on these first couple of frets, you see a lot of wear. I see a little bit on this one, but overall it's pretty good. And these are pretty good sized frets. To me, they almost feel like medium jumbos. A lot of the older guitars were really tiny frets, but these are a pretty good size. The HR Strat, it's not the HM Strat. Guys, leave it in the comments how much these things are going for. What do you would price something like this at if you were me? All that kind of stuff. Leave me some comments. If you like watching this kind of stuff, feel free to hit that subscribe button for me. Okay. So this sandpaper sort of thing, it always has worked really good for me. And I'm not putting money into shining these babies up. Because those erasers, you know, that you can buy, those things wear out pretty quick. And some of the other fret polishing stuff, they all wear out pretty quick. But honestly, a little piece of sandpaper, when you're using this much of it, that lasts a long time. It does a pretty darn good job. Okay, F1 oil on the fretboard. Let that soak in a little bit. Then I'll take my rag and I'll just sort of wipe off the excess. Real nice dark piece of rosewood on this fretboard. Got the dot inlays. On every guitar, I always check the tuners to make sure they're on here nice and snug. Okay. There we go. Okay. All right, let's take a straight slotted screwdriver. And we'll just snug these down a little bit, the tuner buttons. But don't get crazy because you'll break the little plastic that's in there. All right. Let's get some strings on it. Today's string choice. Today's string choice, boy, that's the last time I'm going to pay somebody to do a jingle for me. But here we go, Ernie Ball, super slinky. 9 through 42s. Yeah, so unfortunately for me, you know, being a musician my whole life, I'm going to go down in history with the only thing I've ever done is the Today's String Choice jingle. Ugh. That's worse than the cherry pie guy, right? Alright, so we're going to put the string in. No, it doesn't go back there like that. It lays in like this. But then you also have to kind of bend it around this part of it. Okay, how's that going to work? How in the... Okay. Wow. Okay. I feel like I need to hold it down in there with something to hold it down. And bend it down over under. What the heck? Okay, this is not one of the bridges that I have ever had to use before. But there we go. So it goes down in there, underneath that. But then it also has to... Jeez. I think I know why they stopped making this bridge style. I don't know if I can actually pull this off. Let's see here. Is it a struggle? Is it a struggle? Yes, it is. There we go. Nope. Okay, so it fits down in there, and that part's easy enough. But it also has to go underneath that little piece right there that's sticking out on all of them. You can see it. It's kind of sticking out like that. There we go. Wait, came out. I feel like I have this little Allen wrench just to push this down in there. Yeah. It shouldn't be this hard, or maybe am I just that stupid I don't know how to do this? What the F? What the F and A, man? Could you imagine being a roadie or a guitar tech for some big name, and he showed up with one of these guitars, and it was up to you to restring these things, and you have like one 3.5-minute song and to do it? I think you'd get fired after one show. Alright, now, come on now. Okay. Straight edge screwdriver. Put this part down in there. And if I can shove it down in place. Okay. Alright, here's what we're going to try to do. Because this is sort of a, it's a 42. Let's see if I can learn how to do it with the high E string. So we're going to try it with the 9-gauge string, because this is a way more flexible string. So it should just lay in there like that, and then you kind of bend it underneath so it kind of fits. Like that. Okay, then I'm going to keep my finger right there. Yeah, I understand why they stopped making this style of bridge. I totally get it now. So if it comes flying out of there, you guys will be the first to know. Okay. Yeah, can you guys see that then? It's in there, but it sure didn't mess with me. Alright. Well, we got one of them. Wonder if I could sell a 1-string Japanese Fender. Okay, we'll try the B string. Maybe what will happen is I will get good at this before we get up there to that low E string. And I'm not getting better at it. Okay, come on now, baby. This is stupid. This is freaking stupid. Oh. Okay. Is there another way of doing this that I don't know about? It's still in there where I want it? Yeah, it is. Okay, we got 2. Here we go with the old lucky number 3. I'm going to bend the string so that it kind of lays down in there. Alright. Bend that little baby down underneath there. Okay. I'm not sure what the procedure is here. Let me know if any of you guys have run into this. Because this video definitely makes me look like I don't know what I'm doing, right? Yeah, it's not really even underneath there where I want it. Yeah, it's not even down underneath there where I want it. There it goes. Alright, it's going to get a little bit harder now because the strings are getting thicker. So we have our D string now. Okay, I'm going to put a bend in it right there. I'm going to bend it like that, and then I'm going to bend it like that. Okay, right? So let's see now. Ha! Dang! Pretty fascinating right there. Got that one quick. How's it looking? Yeah, it's in there. I did good on that one. Alright, let's try now this one. Okay, so I bent it right there. And now bend it like that. Okay, right? I was at a swap meet. I went to a Phoenix swap meet, like a guitar swap meet, and it was down at the Roberto Venn in their parking lot. And Roberto Venn is a luthier school in Phoenix, and it's been down there for 40-some years. It's been down there for a long, long time. A luthier school. And they were having a big patio sidewalk swap meet kind of thing. And I'm like, oh yeah, Japanese Strat. I'll buy that. I can make money on this one. And now I know why they sold it. So this video might not be one of those types of videos where you actually convince somebody to buy the guitar. This could be the type of video where you're convincing somebody not to buy this guitar. Because this thing so far, it's wrecking me. It's tearing me up. Okay. There we go. It went right in. You just got to bend the string in the shape that it sort of needs to go. I guess that's the secret. And if this was one of your favorite guitars, you'd learn that quickly. And you'd be able to figure it out. It's just that I've never seen one exactly like this. I did do a video 4 or 5 years ago about a Dan Smith. I believe that's his name. The guy that took over Fender as a designer in the early 80s. Dan Smith era stuff, right? 82, 83. And this looks like it's one of those kind of bridges. Leave it in the comments if I'm completely wrong about that. They all look good in there now. Okay, so I got her all tuned up. Let's take another look at the neck. Looks really good. Nice and flat. Little tiny bit of relief in it. I imagine because of this bridge being like that, I bet there's a lot of room to really stretch these strings. So let's just do that a little bit. Because I have a feeling that they're going to move around a lot in those saddles until they really get planted in there nicely, you know? So let's see. Yeah, that stretched it almost a full step. plays good. It's a great playing guitar. The look of it is awesome. It's a great color. The humbucker sounds good in it. The tuners feel good on it. The nut is weird. The bridge is weird. It's old Japanese stuff from the 80s. And it was a complete pain in the butt to put strings on it. So guys, there you go. Thanks for hanging out and watching me struggle through this guitar. That is the weirdest bridge. I understand now why I was able to buy it at the flea market down there so cheap. But it's a cool guitar. And if somebody was up for doing some mods to get that thing out of there, that would be fun. That stupid design. Locking nut does not work. It's weird, guys. Missing the whammy bar. I think this bridge is the Free Flight. But it's a fun bluesy guitar if you want to just be in the blues and never use a whammy bar. Sort of fun. I don't know what else to say to this thing. I kind of love it. I kind of hate it. It needs newer parts on it. It needs a cool bridge. It needs a better nut on there. There you guys have it. Thanks for watching. Everybody have fun. Be good.